Hey, Wembong World Entertainment, and of course Andor Season 2 has kicked off with the first 3 episodes. I reviewed them, I actually enjoyed them, I thought they were a hell of a lot better than anything in the first season. But one thing I forgot to mention was a particular scene that happened. There's actually a couple of things I forgot to mention. One is they swear again in this. Yeah, Andor himself ends up at the first scene when he kind of crashes the TIE fighter. When he tries to fly it, he ends up going, oh shit. And they say bastard like 2 or 3 times throughout the 3 episodes. But one scene in particular that I forgot to mention, and it's now getting a lot of backlash, is basically the horny Imperial officer. Now, when I told you there was the story part of the character of Bix, is her name, the girl who was basically tortured by the Empire in the first season. She's on like this farming world, and the Empire shows up to kind of do checks and stuff. Well, the head lieutenant of the Imperial Order starts taking a fancy to her and stuff and asks her out basically, and then shows up again and tries to grape her. That's right. We have to use the fun words because of YouTube, but we all know what we mean. And fans, quite frankly, have been shocked and are sickened by this. Tony Gilroy's response to it, however, isn't going to do him or the show any favours. And in fact, it might actually hurt the show. So we'll have a look at part of the controversy, and then we'll look at what he actually said to THR, because all the trades seem to be kind of like going, this is a bit of a drastic turn for Star Wars. So it's saying Lucasfilm is back at it again. For just one day, it might be nice for them to not use controversy as their main advertising tool. For one day, it would be nice if quality of product was the shining force for why people want to watch a galaxy far, far away, where Jedi and Sith can use the Force. Instead, Andor has decided to include forcing oneself on another for gratification as its second season debut reason for tuning in. As a result, many fans are tuning out. So you get people on Twitter already saying shows like 6 Feet Under, Oz, Sopranos, amongst others, have way worse scenes like the one shown in Andor. Does that make those bad series? And someone responded to that saying, the answer to that is subjective. Mine is yes, as it isn't/shouldn't be normal to watch grape scenes for entertainment. Why do people defend watching that? Also, Star Wars is known to be a family IP. Inserting unnecessary SA scenes doesn't help the story or the franchise. And this is going to be one of the arguments that's going to come about with this type of scene, is the fact that every time you kind of slate Star Wars, what happens? What's the argument back from Shields and other people? Oh, it's a kid's show. What are you going to say now with a scene like this? And it's not like the scene is implicating that it's happening. No, it has him grabbing her, throwing her about. She's trying to fight back, but he's overpowering her. She only kind of gets some offense when she gets like a hammer type tool and clocks him in the head with it. But she like lets out this almighty scream, and so does he. He screams in rage, which alerts his pilot basically that's out on for kind of speed or transport thing. And that's where it goes. And we keep seeing him trying his best to get her down. So, and her begging him not to. So, it's not like it's only implicated. No, we're seeing him physically try to do it. So, it continues saying, Disney Plus is dropping Andor episodes 3 at a time. Tuesday evenings for the next 3 weeks. 12 episodes in total. But some fans may be done already with a show that reportedly cost more than $600 million to produce. I believe that's for the 2 seasons, by the way. That's still a ridiculous amount. While some Star Wars fans are happy with the super gritty actual evil events being included in the show, others think that getting into this sort of darkness is a concept George Lucas would have never wanted on screen in his sci-fi universe. Star Wars Theory even tweeted out saying, SA in Star Wars feels unnecessary. You can portray power dynamics and making the audience hate the Empire in other ways without taking it to such a disgusting place. Vader wouldn't tolerate that shit, nor does the Emperor condone it. It has no place in Star Wars, period. Unnecessary. And that is the thing, like, again, the argument will be, well, it's the Empire being the Empire, they're being super evil. And it's the case of, no, because this guy actually leaves his battalion to go purposely after her. So it's not like they're there actually doing their so-called checks. He's making his way out to her, basically alone, to try this, that he wants to get it on with her. So it's not the case of, oh, the Empire is doing, no, it's this guy himself is doing it. And like there does seem to be a lot of backlash. But then it turns out as well that it's saying Andor Season 2, Disney uses Star Wars to push the message. Because apparently, and when you're watching it, you don't really, well, obviously it's there and you notice it, but you don't really kind of link it to what everyone seems to be linking it to, which is that they are using, not just was this scene out of hand, but that the fact that they are meant to have no visas, and that's what the Empire is checking for. Basically, that they're illegal, and the fact that the cast for those particular scenes that are meant to be the illegals seem to be a Latin American cast, and they're trying to make the Empire be a category for Trump. And apparently Gilroy kind of leans into that a bit. But here is what his actual statement was regarding the whole grape scene, because it's actually crazy for the way he tries to justify this. So he said this to THR, by the way. I get one shot to tell everything I know, or can discover, or that I've learned about revolution, about battles, with as many incidents and as many colours as I can get in there, without having the story tip over. I mean, let's be honest, man. The history of civilization, there's a huge arterial component of it that's grape. All of us who are here, we are all the product of grape. I mean, armies and power throughout history have committed grape. So to not touch on it in some way, it just was organic and it felt right, coming about as a power trip for this guy. I was really trying to make a path for bricks that would ultimately lead to clarity, but a difficult path to get back to clarity. You realize that his statement there, number one, is it's a horrible statement to try and make, to try and justify why you filmed a scene like that in what is meant to be a kid-friendly series. The fact that you're trying to say, oh, it's because I was trying to give her this very difficult path to go through and stuff. This is the woman who got absolutely tortured in the first season. So the idea that, hey, to kind of undo that, we need a guy to try and force himself upon her. That's kind of like, yeah, no, it doesn't work that way. You put it in there for some sort of weird reason. The power dynamics, yeah, it doesn't work like that. We've seen what the Empire are like. We even hear in the first episode how they basically run propaganda machines to try and make things look not as bad as they are, and try and make everybody that goes against them look bad. Which, of course, you can use as the thing about Trump and whatnot, which is exactly what happened. So we're also hearing this saying, Variety, owned by the same company as THR, has the CEO title of their article as Andrea, however you pronounce her second name, on Brix's attempted grape scene, and where it goes off about immigrations and Trump. So here's what was said about this thing. So this article said, Variety said, when season 2 premiere picks up a year later, she's living on the Argranian planet Mina Rua, or Ro, whatever the hell it's called, as an engineer who is often referred to quite pointedly as undocumented. And that is the thing, they keep saying undocumented. While Andrea, I'm probably even butchering that, I don't think it's on Adria maybe, I think, notes that she shot the Planet episodes a year and a half ago. The unintended relevance to the Trump administration's relentless war on so-called illegals is not lost on her, and she said, "It's just mirroring that we keep stumbling on the same rock," she said. "It's one of my favourite parts about the show. It's relevant now, and it's going to be relevant in 5 years, and 10, and 20, and 50 years, because we keep doing the same thing." So again, you're seeing them trying to say, oh, it's all basically a Trump allegory. And it's just like, really? Now, again, the way it's done in the episode, you wouldn't really look at it that way. Unless you are just one of those far-left lunatics. But it's the case of, you're watching it and you kind of just think it's the Empire flexing that muscle. Because the guy even says, before he tries to force himself upon her, he says, like, "I know you're illegal here and stuff." And then he says, "Problem is with the Empire, we need you guys to work. We can't," it's like, "We can't have yous, but we need yous. But when yous are here, we have to obey the rules," and all this type of crap. So it's it's a weird thing they do. But then, of course, he tries to force himself upon her. And yeah, the scene seems to be getting a lot of backlash. And a lot of people seem to be kind of calling them out on it. And again, I don't think Tony Gilroy has helped his cause by basically saying, we are all products of grape. So yeah, good luck with the show, buddy, because I think you're about to lose a lot of people. But anyway, if you've seen the show, let us know what you think of the scene and whatnot. To be honest, I wasn't too bothered by it. I do get, however, it is kind of very out of place in a show, or I should say in a franchise like Star Wars. Either way, let us know what you think. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.